Hi, I built an Azure Sandbox environment so my clients could practice using Azure without having to worry about access or paying the bill. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I built that Azure Sandbox environment so that you could build one too, for your students, for your customers, and for your colleagues. So who am I? I'm Frankie Riviera. I've been working in Azure for 10 years now. I used to work for Microsoft, and now I'm a Microsoft Azure MVP. I help businesses and professionals build solutions, solve problems, and make more money with Microsoft Azure. Now, you might be asking, why build an Azure Sandbox environment? It's all about access. It's all about helping students learn, because mastery is not gained by just watching videos alone. Mastery is gained by getting hands-on, building solutions, and solving real problems. So why did I build an Azure Sandbox environment? It's for my Azure AI Agent Accelerator program. It helps clients build and deploy real Azure AI agents in 4 weeks or less. You get your isolated sandbox and a $200 worth of Azure credits to use. You get one-on-one calls with me along with group calls. You get docs, frameworks, and ready-to-run agent solution templates to get started instantly with AI agent solutions. You get a private learning community to learn with others, structured 4-week curriculum. It starts in August. That's just a couple weeks away from the time of recording. So there's a link in the description if this is interesting to you, and you can apply with that link. If it's after August, just shoot me an email and I'll see how I can help you. So this is why I built the Azure Sandbox. Now these are the 7 layers that I'm going to go through as to how I built it and why. Starting with number 1, this is the first layer, which is the subscription level layer. So this is where I have one subscription, and you can think of it as the apartment to the apartment building, if you will. And there's students that are each going to have their own resource group. They get keys to their specific apartment, and I own the apartment building, but you have a resource group as the keys to your apartment. The second layer is Azure Policy. An Azure Policy is just a rule that's enforced when an identity tries to create or change a resource. Now, the way I've set this up is that I've set up Azure Policies to block entirely creating virtual machines, databases not related to the curriculum, special networking, and any big data analytics platforms. What I've allowed but limited is storage accounts. You can create a storage account within the environment. You can create an Azure AI search resource that's necessary for RAG patterns. You've got models that you can deploy within Microsoft Foundry, and certain types of models can allow for certain token limits. The third layer is the initiative layer. So when you are managing Azure policies and what people can and can't do in Azure, there's policies you can create, and I've created custom policies and also used in some built-in policies to then all get bundled together in what's called an initiative. This is so that you don't have to assign individual policies to resource groups. You can bundle them all together into one initiative that then can be assigned to a resource group. You update the bundle one time, you update one policy, and all of the resource groups will get whatever update is necessary from that initiative. Now, RBAC and custom roles. I created a custom role for those using the Azure Sandbox. I call it the Sandbox Resource Builder role. It allows them to create, experiment, and build resources within the Azure Sandbox environment, but they can't delete the resource group itself. They can't delete the budget related to the resource group. They can't delete any baseline resources. There is conditional role assignment set up because granting role permissions, allowing users to grant role permissions, which is necessary for the lessons in the Azure AI Agent Accelerator program, it's dangerous. And so there are conditions that are set. So a student can get an assigned role and they'll try to make some sort of role assignment where conditions are then checked. If it's not allowed and they need a different type of role in order to make an assignment, they'll just be denied as soon as they try to make some role assignment. But if it is an approved role assignment, so they need to give some service access to their Azure AI search resource in order to create an index or read an index that they create, then they're going to be allowed to do that. The 6th layer is having no keys. There's no API keys that are allowed in any of the resources. This is because API keys generally leak. And this is just a best practice, right? If there is an API key that ends up in someone's hands who's not a good actor, then they could take advantage of that API key and you wouldn't know if it's coming from the person you actually gave it to or someone who's being malicious. So everything uses managed identities. Microsoft's Entra IDs only is the way in which this is all set up. Now, every type of call, every type of action is always attributable to some sort of identity. The last layer is the budget. So this is the $200 per resource group that I'm allowing students to have as the program credit. In this, I've set up budget alerts at 50%, 80%, 90%, and 100. There's also a forecasting alert. So that's 5 total email alerts that a student would get and I would get, all about helping students understand, what the budget actually is, how much is being spent. This keeps costs clear and transparent so students are aware of what they're spending when they're using their Azure Sandbox environment. Now, the whole picture, putting this all together. The way in which a student enters the sandbox is by being invited as a guest, a guest user account. So they get these role assignments that are associated with whatever email that they're using to sign up and get into the Azure Sandbox environment. They'll accept an invite, and once they do, then they'll get into the subscription. They'll get all the guardrails assigned to them with the initiative and all the policies. They'll get resources spun up along with the resource group, the budget, and everything involved, along with permissions to create the Azure AI search resource and the registry, container registry, if and when they need those. Now, you could build your own Azure Sandbox environment. Based on everything I've shared with you, if you wanted to get started on this, all it takes is some bicep files to create the actual resources themselves, the policies, the initiative, the role assignments with the conditions, the budget, everything. And the way I would start is always start with that one resource group per person. Make sure you have some sort of budget alert system on so that you know exactly how much people are spending per resource group, and make sure to assign the least privileged access policies that you possibly can. So make sure people are only able to do what they absolutely need to do in whatever environment you're creating. So that's how I would get started with this. Now, if you want to try my Azure Sandbox environment, you can apply to join the Azure AI Agent Accelerator program with the link in the description. I only accept 10 people and it starts in August. This is the last one of the calendar year, so I would sign up as soon as possible. If it's after that time, shoot me an email and I'll help you however I can. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. I answer every comment to help as many people as I can. If this video was helpful for you, I'd appreciate if you liked the video and subscribe to this channel so you can see more content like this. As always, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.